So this is going to be a different one. I usually sit there and stream these, but I literally found this out last second, and since it's more of an multiplayer overview, I'm just going to do it as a recording. So there's not going to be editing in it. It's just going to be me reacting to this, and then this goes up at a later. Hopefully straight after I finish it. Don't care about the chat for this one. So yeah, but looks like I'm not organized. It's because I'm not. I literally just threw everything up here. As you can literally see, I was in the process of uploading videos, watching or listening to a podcast and playing Destiny in the background. I was chillaxing, and then I found out this was on. So I was like, alright, might as well sit there and take a look at it, which is what we're going to do. So here we go. Alright.
Just the feeling of like being in a firefight and hearing the click of the gun, throwing it down, grabbing one off the wall, being in a
Mike Gunner's
firefight,
upside down, and he's like laying in. I see kill
throwing
assist,
it
kill
down,
assist,
grabbing
kill
one
assist.
off the wall.
Any pistol
Mike
across
Gunner's
Wait, why am I
upside down.
hearing-
He's like
Whatever
laying in.
gun
I see kill assist,
allows
kill
me to
assist,
feel-
kill assist.
Whoops.
Any pistol across any of the games. Whatever gun allows me to feel the most like John Wick, I am there.
Remember how excited I was with like this big combat with vehicles going all over the place.
Halo means something different for everyone, right? I think that's what makes Halo great.
Alright, I'm just gonna let its music play in the background and not my own. Like, this is the multiplayer. This is what's going to be free to play.
What is Halo multiplayer? And for me, it boils down to this tight arena style combat and big team battle. This wide
Definitely
open
big team
vehicle
battle.
infused,
I love big team
kind
battle
of
during
combat.
Halo
We're taking that
Reach, Halo
awesome
ODST,
legacy
Halo
or classic
4
combat
wasn't
experience
bad,
and
but
modernizing it in ways that'll feel
it was
fresh to old players,
questionable
and
at times,
exciting to
in
new
my
players.
opinion.
We're going to give you great ways to customize.
5
your
I never
Spartan,
really
make
tried
your
it on
Super
5.
Soldier your own, and we're kicking off a journey, an experience that's going to evolve month to month, season to season, year after year.
These no
For me,
multiplayer.
working through this multiplayer of this game, and the toughest challenge I think was really about how do we respect.
I like the amount of
legacy
decks
what
he
came
has in
before
the
us, but still
background.
build something that feels new.
That collection
We've
is kind of
tried
cool.
to bring all these elements
Kinda
of
is cool.
legacy and really inject them into Halo Infinite, not just like in a way where you kind of won't notice it, where you feel like, oh, they really designed this to be a celebration of
Okay, don't worry.
previous Halo, as well as an iteration of where Halo can go next.
So
The
see
vision of
the-
arena was all about a tight experience. It was all about
Whoever's using that
fair.
shotgun has
It
the
was all about
shittest aim
earning
possible.
everything on the map, earning everything, every kill you get.
Going back to like what is the core
What's
foundation of what
What's
made
the
great
highlighting? Like
Halo
it's just
multiplayer
slightly
and which is
highlighting
great.
the enemies
Halo is
red.
really about
Like
fair and
over,
balanced
it's like
fights.
a
So everybody's on
outline.
equal footing when they come off the rip. And then once they start running around, it's about scavenging. It's about finding new toys and kind
So
of.
it's back to old school.
developing
It's
your
back
playstyle
to old
as you
school.
run
You
through
aren't
the match.
you aren't starting with loadouts. That's good. I'm
What
actually
makes
happy
Halo
with
feel
that.
like Halo?
Those I
feel
enjoyed
like,
the most.
The answer to that question is the sandbox. Like the sandbox is Halo.
What's that?
When we set out to look at Halo Infinite from
You
a
guys
high
definitely
level
have to
and
have
the
Forge
direction of
ready.
What it is, there's lots of exciting things there because we really want.
Forge is one of the things that always
are
kept
true to
Halos
Halo,
alive
but One
during
of the things that fans
during
haven't
down
seen yet.
times.
Equipment
Love
is
that.
back, but equipment is kind of
Different.
has a bigger voice than ever before. We ask questions to ourselves of if you could go after a power weapon to get a bunch of kills, would you do that, or could you go and get grapple to make sure that you swing yourself to the other side of a map to back cap a stronghold? We saw it as like another avenue of not just skill expression but tactics for teams to coordinate around.
The exciting combinatory
The grapples.
nature of
Okay.
this toy plus this toy and how those interact with objectives is super amazing.
Looking at how the power-ups play.
He didn't
the
slam that
classic
down.
ones
He
like
done a
the
light
shield,
attack,
the
did he
active
not?
camouflage. For this title, what we're looking at, what we're excited for, is you pick that up and you choose when you activate it. It goes into your inventory.
Oh.
If you haven't used it and someone kills you in multiplayer, you drop that overshield and then they could take it, use it for themselves. That to me is very legacy, but we took the equipment side of it and modernized it. When it comes
Alright.
to the vehicles, we went in and decided to invest a lot in the systems. When I take damage in my Warthog, My wheels can get blown off. My hood can get blown off. There's different aspects.
Oh, you
of the
can
vehicle
actually
that
lose.
change
Oh,
how
because you could
my vehicle
lose wheels
handles now.
beforehand. It just
And that's
wasn't
something that's
as
brand new.
The other thing we added to that is like this doomsday
distinct.
mechanic. So when you hit this threshold, the vehicle catches fire, and it's very much you've got a certain amount of health or a certain amount of time, and you got to choose what you want to do with the last minutes of this vehicle.
Oh.
We've got a cousin to the Warthog, which is the Razorback.
The back has this like multi-storage compartment that you can put a lot of stuff into. So if
Wow.
you want to put like detached
Alright,
turrets,
that's interesting.
power
Wait.
weapons, fusion coils, objectives, and that is what's really making the Razorback kick a lot of butt in the
Okay.
campaign.
The levels define pace for
So
the
they're
game,
bringing.
how
Okay.
frantic it is, and they define that iconic fantasy for players as they're entering that match. What
I
do
like
they
to
wanna do?
revamp them Valhalla because that's
What type
part of it, if I
experience are they
recall.
hoping to have? What kind of combat, what kind of dance floor is there available to have that combat?
That's a remake of or revamped area of Halo
For
2
me,
map.
BTB is all about experience.
Because it looks a lot similar to a,
the sandbox of Halo.
to
in just
second
one map,
mission, I
right?
think
Like
it
you
is,
see
second,
the
third mission.
vehicles, the weapons,
Where you
the
had Sniper Alley, a lot of people
We really
called
wanted
it.
to take that kind of
Or
concept,
Suicide
those
Alley
feels
because
you
of the,
had, you know, playing the previous
fucking
games,
Jackal.
and just turn the volume up. Vehicles are no longer just spawning at bases anymore. We have Pelicans delivering them, and we have a
Oh.
commander in your ear telling you that Pelicans are going to be dropping off these vehicles.
Tank is inbound.
We have Halo 2 style Delta Halo mission weapon pods that fall from the sky to
Oh.
resupply the field.
That's where it makes it feel like a real battlefield, and it's very
Okay, so it's no
This
longer
is not
fixed spawn
just
points, is it?
more
It's just
players, this is
more
just this certain
random.
beautiful slice of sci-fi
Yeah.
chaos.
Dude just took it to the head and survived. Wait, what?
The announcer is
Dude
your
just straight up
big
took it to the
gameplay
head.
moments, your game modes, just like the way it was before. Personal AI is really a reflection and information for the player.
Personal AI. Designation button.
So if a player grabs the flag,
Designation
your
what?
personal AI is going to tell you to, get that thing back to base and give you some like moment-to-moment updates.
Okay.
What if we can let players choose their own AI, and each one of those are different voices, so that players can find the one that fits their personality and their mood the best?
They add to the sense of like me as a Spartan being more important, and for us in multiplayer it is really about becoming
You
a
receive the personal
Spartan.
AI
You're
and you
Spartan.
can
You
go.
are you inside of the Halo universe.
Oh.
The body of
Hmm.
customization content
So this is why
we
this
have
character
on
was
day
shown
one
off.
ensures that there will be millions of
But here's
customization
my
combinations for Spartans on the
curiosity.
battlefield. That includes things like armor coatings,
Because
armor emblems, various armor
I was in there talking to my
effects,
mate.
down to
Is the
individual
Halo
armor
campaign going to be
pieces, so your
pure, or
shoulders,
Halo
your
Infinite campaign
gloves,
purely
your
going to
knee pads, your
be
helmet,
Master
your
Chief?
visor, your helmet attachments,
Like this is
your
a
weapons.
far
We've
out
got a
theory.
whole
This is
slew
a
of
far out
customization
theory that I
options
have.
there.
It
Vehicles
literally
have
just
a
could be me
huge pool of
grasping at
customizations,
interest.
too. We support
What
customization
happens
in
if
the
it's
game.
a
Players
split
can do the same
campaign
thing
once
on
again?
HaloWaypoint.com as well as the
Hey.
Halo Waypoint app.
So,
The player
what I
also
mean by a
customizes
split
the
campaign
Spartan,
again,
the soldier
is it like
inside the suit. We want the
Halo
Spartan to
5s
represent
where
the
you
player
had
as much as possible.
Spartan
They can
lock,
change their
but
body type
instead
and
we
their
have
voice,
our
as well
custom
as choose
Spartan, which is
prosthetics for the
this
first
one
time.
with the
Players
AI,
offer us a unique
and
opportunity
then
to craft some
we're playing as our
hyper-polished looks and
Spartan
let you
during
express
maybe the
yourselves
first
in
third
ways
of the game,
you've
maybe
never
just the
been
first
able to
couple
before.
missions.
We're coming at
During
this
the
from a
whole shit
player-first
show that
mentality.
happened
So what
with
that
the
means is
war
that
before,
there's no random loot.
if it's
There's
still
no
in
loot
there
boxes.
when the
It's
dude sits there
very
and
important
finds
to us that
Master
everyone
Chief floating
understands
around, and
exactly
Resurrection
how they
says,
unlock
"We've lost the
customization
war."
content. And
Like,
we have a
just
variety of
give that
choices
variety
that
of
we can
what
do.
was happening there,
First off
what
is
we've
the
been
Battle
doing,
Pass.
and then
The
also,
Halo Battle Pass
why is this
will
all?
never
Why,
be
what's
taken
happened
away
between
from
that
you. What I
small
mean by
gap
that
now?
is
No
once
longer
you
huge
buy it,
gap, but
it's
just a
yours
smaller
and
gap
does
of
not
like,
expire. In future
what
seasons,
the fuck?
you can purchase old battle passes
But-
as well as the current battle pass and choose
Okay.
which battle pass to put your progression towards.
All of these
Oh.
rewards are single source, so you're never going to be confused about where things come from.
So you
if you can
can-
unlock something in the Battle Pass, we're not going to let any other players circumvent that by purchasing it out of the storefront.
A lot of our stuff is
Okay.
unlocked through playing the game and only through playing the game.
But is the battle
All
pass something you
customization
have to
is
purchase in
just
general?
cosmetic.
Every season will have its own theme and introduce new components, new looks, new gameplay for players, new opportunities to earn and collect cool rewards. We've
Okay.
seen the samurai already. That's
Hayabusa.
one of our event.
Please tell
armor
me,
cores.
please tell me it's
And
called the
that's gonna be something
Hayabusa. I
that
swear, if
players
you are
can
just
earn
calling
from
it the
gameplay
Samurai, I'm gonna be
for
so
free.
disappointed.
With us going free to play for the multiplayer part of the game, like that was a big goal because how do we have a way we can always bring players in, right? And they can when we have a new update.
It was a smart thought. It was
they'll
a
just dip
very
their toes in
smart
if they even
plan.
just want to see it.
Not only are we free to play, but we're free to play on PC as well as console. And what that means is we're able to get the biggest audience we've ever had. I mean, everybody gets to play with no barriers. And even better, your progression carries from one platform to the next.
Getting our game to be on PC and console at the same time is an amazing chance for us to really just kind of excite new players about the game. How can we do things like make cross-play interesting, and like even in just customs, being able to just play with your friends. That Some people have PCs and some people have consoles. Like, let them talk to each other. Let them be friends.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that they're out of the gates doing crossplay.
So Academy is a place that you can go within MP to kind of onboard into the experience. It's great for newer players who are still picking up the controls, and also
it's
people
basically a
who
tutorial
want
zone.
to warm up before they head into matchmaking. It's a series of experiences, both a tutorial to get started for the first time, weapon drills to practice with specific items, and also training mode that you can use to just get warm, explore the game as you want to.
For players who are new to Halo, let's help them learn what this
So
universe is about.
I'm noticing the quality
What are they about?
in the what they're showing here is lower than what they showed during the Xbox event. So I'm wondering, is this
They don't feel like they're behind everyone else.
like this is feeling a lot more like, ooh, this is what
I mean, I'm super
Xbox
jazzed about
One's
bots. I think they're awesome. Our goal
kind
with
of
bots has
detail
been
is going to be.
have a variety of difficulties that kind of provide a good
Feel free
training
for
partner for
humans.
wherever you're at in the experience.
Partnering with our players on the road to launch and after launch is absolutely critical, right?
I mean, Halo's always been about the community conversation.
We want to make sure we hear our players, make changes where we can based on that feedback, make sure the game is ready for launch, and then even beyond launch.
What I'm genuinely excited about is taking the game out of our hands and
West
putting it into
Bank
the community's hands. You know, whether it's seeing what people make in Forge or the content that they're able to create with theater, watching streamers go after the game.
That looks amazing. It does look good.
Put in your info with your gamer tag, and we should be able to reach out to you if we want to invite you to a Halo Infinite flight.
We feel like we've got a pretty good selection at launch and what's
I'm
gonna be
doing
there
that.
for our fans. And this isn't going to be something that is just a static.
I wanna
set
do an
of
Infinite flight.
items.
I
We have
wanna
some new
do
stuff
that.
in the works already, and just can't wait to really get into that as soon as this game comes out.
New maps, new modes, new ways to customize your Spartan. Launch is just the beginning. Now we're just going to be able to talk, interact more frequently, and that's just going to be great. That is the future of Halo Infinite multiplayer.
Thank you to the community for all their feedback over the years so far, and I'm looking forward to the road to launch, launch itself, and beyond.
Definitely. Oddball, I'm glad to see that coming back. What was that arc chain? Anyone else see the arc damage chain to him before, or to the enemy before he was fucking tapped? This is going to be a very fast-paced game. And then we have the epic campaign. They're still keeping silent about that campaign. All that sat there and showed is, hey, what the fuck happened to Cortana, bro? You don't know? Well, play the game to find out. Alright, well,
Play
that's...
day one with Xbox Game Pass.
That's good at being Game Pass. That means I get to sit. Well, that was basically that. I'm not going to show much else of it. It was a nice... Stand up. So yeah, it's an interesting Wii multiplayer insight. I'm quite happy with that. Quite interesting to see what it is, but anyway, that's basically that. I hope you guys had, oh, that's the theme, whoopsies. I hope you guys out there and were interested in what you saw as well as I did. Like, obviously it's not going to be overly reaction. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck? All that. I was just like, okay, that's interesting, So the equipment, I'm happy with the equipment. Like, the fact that equipment is going to be more versatile, so that's including the grapple, and I think that's probably including that spike gun that we saw during the event. I'm wondering, though, is damaged wheels and all that actually going to affect the state of the Warthog's driving or if that's just aesthetics. Which, if it is aesthetics based, nothing wrong with that. It's just, oh, okay. Other than that, I'm getting the very old school. Thank you. Don't need that. Old school Halo 3, Halo 2 arena vibe, whereas like you're starting off with this pistol or this AR, and you're finding your gear. I'm glad that it's back to that. As much as I enjoyed the preset loadouts from 4 and somewhat of 5, I enjoy just is like boot on reach, the boots on the ground. This is your loadout. Everyone starts with this. You have to find the better weapons and be more tactical in that sense. The grapple is going to be such a powerful equipment to have in terms of being able to be like, okay, and oh shoot, someone's going for that power weapon. Bring it over your way, or even just to sit there and pull it away from them and close to a teammate. It's gonna change stuff. Is like even with things like snipers, like all right, snipers up there. Okay, grapple that down, grab it, still falling, and shot. Like you're going to see such cool trick shots when people sit there and get down to that type of stuff. Just being able to sit there and pull a weapon across from a map, grab it, and use it seconds later to get maybe a clat, maybe just a couple kills, or a clean just falling headshot at someone, just not even paying attention to you, just across the map. It is going to change the way Halo has felt, definitely. It's not going to feel like the old Halo games where it's like, hey, okay, oh shoot, someone's overshield. I have to just play a bit more back, shoot his shields down and all that, and then sort of is like, oh, I just picked up overshield, now I'm overshielded, I need to find people, or it's like, oh, I'm invis, I need to find people. The point is like, all right, going to sneak up, okay, people around this, invis, come around, assassinate, punch, shotgun, whatever you do, or it's like, okay, there's a lot of enemies around me, back up, overshield, go in like a bloody juggernaut. Like, it's going to be interesting how it does. Now, that was a Halo Infinite multiplayer overview. As you guys can sit there and see on what I've said, it is going to be free to play for all platforms that's on. So on the Xbox One, Series X, Series S, PC, and Xbox One cloud gaming as well. It is also available on Game Pass, as Saturn explained, which is going to be a plus for me. I'm happy with that. So I hope you guys sat there and enjoyed the little my view on what this is going to be like, and I hope you guys are going to continue to enjoy it in the long run. And I've been the 157 Gamer, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.